All right. And we should be good. Little bit of a late start today. Okay. Anyway, I think we are, in fact, good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the weekly reaction to Unordinary. Brought to you by Uru-chan. I need to grab my charger real quick. Sorry about that. Anyway, last week, we got almost everyone versus Tay Reich. We'll call him Tay Reich tonight. Everyone versus Tay Reich. Everyone except for Ison, I think. I don't think Ison really tried to attack him at all. Welcome, man. Welcome. Welcome to the Everything Solo. Glad to see you here. So, last time, everyone was fighting against Tay Reich, and Sarah showed up and basically kind of just finished the job. We also learned that Tay Reich has recovery. He has regeneration, which John noticed immediately. Like, whoa! His aura channels are not normal. So that was very interesting. It also, okay. I was going to say, it's strange he didn't notice anything like with like back when Liam and Candace were fighting against them, but he also didn't really have his passive back then with aura sensing and stuff, so it makes sense. But Seraphina basically finished the job. They escaped, but as they were escaping, Blake kind of had moments where he himself was starting to think, not just remembering what Keon said, but he himself started to think like, so what if this is real? It doesn't matter. Like they got you here to begin with. So, and he passed out, and Ison had to basically carry him the way out. Oh yeah, and everyone saw like, bro, Ison, what is wrong with you, bro? So they got out. Seraphina slashed their tire so they couldn't chase him on foot. Welcome, Miriam. Welcome. And they escaped. We were back in Brannish, back at Beatrice's house. Blake was sleeping in the bed. He was like, oh my God, I'm out of that place. Oh my God. And Ison was like, bro, we're trying to sleep. Relax, man. And Remy woke up and she was like, Blake, you're here. Ah. And Blake was like, oh my God, I'm out. They came to save me. So that is where everything left off last week. I definitely think today we're probably going to spend most of today probably like regroup. It was Kuyo. It was Kuyo. Remy started the car. You're right. My bad, Solo. My bad. Welcome, Absent. Welcome. So I think we're going to spend most of this episode kind of like everyone like seeing Ison Blake again. I think we're definitely going to get like more moments of like Blake being a bit like standoffish or like, a bit kind of isolated from everyone else. I definitely think like him and John it's going to be a bit rough for him and John right now at the moment. But I also think we might go back to the prison. I still think Arlo might show up or might like have questions for Tay Reich. But no, I'm standing with it. Like Rain she's getting her memory searched by Keon. That's definitely happening. I'm sticking with that. So that is what happened last week on Unordinary. So here we go. All right. I don't think it's up yet, but let's nothing yet. Bro, Blake, calm down, bro. You're not that guy, bro. Relax. You're not that guy. Okay, nothing yet. Man, the delay, like everything taking like longer to upload now. Instead of being like the usual 701 for me. It's getting to me, guys. It's getting to me. me go. No, I don't want that. Go away. But yeah. How have y'all been? How have y'all been this week? Okay. Solo, we don't need to know that, bro. Come on, man. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Parental advisory. Strong language. We're back at Cameron's house. We're back at Cameron's house. We're finally seeing how Cameron's reacting to everything. Thank you, Absent. Cameron's just like got his bottle of wine. The Daily Inquiry. Wellston's student escapes love in prison. Oh, yeah, how has he not noticed? No. Cameron, you have to have known at this. Okay, last night there was a breach at Love in Prison. Weather was rainy, and authorities suspect this was a premeditated attack. According to prison officials, the escape occurred between 2 and 3 a.m. or 2 or nondescript time a.m. when a routine perimeter check discovered a breach section block fencing near the facility's east work yard. Surveillance footage shows 5 imposter officers making their way to the security and administration rooms. The escaped prisoner has been identified as Blake, 17. Okay, last names exist, but like the fact that like they just keep getting written with just their first name is really, really jarring sometimes. Serving an indefinite number of time for substance distribution and brutality against officers. High tier level 5.1 with the ability energy discharge. Physical features: red hair, golden eyes, lies, 5'10" height. The 5 escapee helpers are suspected to be Blake's old classmates from Wellston Private High School. They are extremely dangerous high tiers, identified to be Vigilantes X-Ray, Blue Swordsman, and Ison, as well as Spectre terrorists John and Serafina. Warden Tay Reich was severely injured during, and as of now, he has not responded to the events. Authorities have not released further details at this time, but an investigation remains ongoing. Officials have urged anyone with information to come forward, emphasizing public safety as a top priority. Okay. There was a conversation on Reddit about whether the Bureau would try to like spin this. I thought that they would want to try and conceal this as much as they can. But it seems like I was wrong. Once again, my prediction was wrong. Okay, so let's continue. And it's just like, it's literally just the shot from Blake, like at the end of season 3 or season 2 when he was like being put into prison. And Cameron's just like, John has been gone for like a week. Cameron, where did you think he was? Unordinary, episode 362. Maricel just sweeping the floor. John, where are you? It's been like a week, bro. He's not here, sir. He's been gone since last week. And you didn't think to alert me? I did. Mr. Cameron. Quiet. Can't you see I'm working? Sir, your nephew. I don't want to hear about that brat. I told you I need absolute silence. Off you go. One of these shirts, he's dressed like John and William, actually. ... But you waved me away every time. Cameron is just ... He's a rebellious teenager. Did you really expect him to listen to you? Cameron is sweating like a bead of nervous sweat, and then Arrow just pointed at him. He did. Put me in contact with Scarlet as soon as possible. Scarlet's back! I told y'all! Uru would not waste such a sick design. Yes, sir. You demonic little runt. Always a pain in the ass. So, John beating up Blake. A deranged delinquent who's beaten you senseless multiple times. Ison, a coward who runs away from every conflict. A selfish girl who coaxed you into doing everything she wanted. They're the reason you were in here to begin with. And he rushes up. He's by himself. 12:34 p.m. I'm still having these dreams. Breaking news. And so John is still asleep on the couch. Sarah's just painting her nails. Sarah's also in her old outfit. Like her old, casual outfit. Last night there was a breach at Levin Prison. Okay, so they are just fully on reporting this. Former Wellston student Blake, a substance dealer also known as the Vigilante Nobody, escaped. Authorities suspect that his escape was premeditated and aided. Okay, so she's just regurgitating the same stuff as the paper said. Aided by former schoolmates John, Serafina, Remy, Ison, and Kuyo, the warden has yet to release an official statement. Damn. Our names sure are getting out there, huh? At this rate, we'll be more infamous than Ember. They're using us to smear vigilantism. With Unordinary going viral again, they're more desperate than ever to stop a resurgence. Weird shot of Remy looking at Kuyo. She's kind of like, Well, people aren't falling for it. I know for a fact that new vigilantes are still emerging day by the day. Serafina, what's your plan now that Blake's out? We're going to leave today. Since the feds are after us, it's better if we aren't all in one place. Plus, we've got to report back to Spectre as soon as possible. But John's taking a bit longer than expected to recover his strength, so we might stay another night. Hey, you talking about me? Careful, you're gonna mess up my nails. Your nails look great. How are you feeling, John? I've never felt so drained. I've always been a shitty healer. Hog so much aura just to heal myself, let alone heal others. A bit hard on yourself, aren't you? We made it out, didn't we? John may have an impressive aura pool, but sounds like he has trouble using it efficiently. Yeah, but if Sarah and Ison didn't show up when they did, we would have been done. It makes sense that he's frustrated. That's teasing the training arc with Cameron. And honestly, it does make sense. Like John goes all out all the time. Dang, like I really shouldn't be surprised, but it is actually a little sad to hear like they're not gonna stick together. Like that's actually very, very surprising that they're not gonna stick together through this. But it makes sense. Like if they're all in one place at one time, yeah. Blake gets up, walks down the stairs, sees everyone, and just kind of chatter. Sees John there, clenches his fist. Why do I feel so distant? Blake, you're awake. Don't just stand there. Come hang out with us. And Sarah just like peace signs him, and John just like, oh, hey, look who it is. Did you sleep well, princess? And he like hangs around Blake, and Blake's just like, Blake, you had us pretty worried last night. Nice to see you up and moving. He just stares at John, looks away. Yeah. And John just like, have you seen the news yet? No, I just woke up. We're famous, I tell ya. And John just ... Hey kids, and she got Yum Yum. Who's ready for lunch? Oh my god, no, Charlie is coming. I have Yum Yum specialty burgers. Quinn says it's on the house. Food. And they all light up. So they're all just eating. Whoa, I'm starving. When do we dig in? Wait, first. Uh-huh. We're outlaws at the moment. Sorry we couldn't throw you a bigger party. A big shout out to everyone. This wouldn't have been possible without every single one of you. And now, we're another step closer to reclaiming our freedom. Blake, welcome back. Cheers! And they all just clasp drinks together. John's gonna talk to Blake. John's gonna, John knows what's up with Blake. I'll admit, that was a step up from prison food. Yeah, no kidding. We gotta plump you up. You lost a lot of weight. But the other inmates didn't make it any easier. Nah, one wrong look and they come for you. But you kicked ass, right? Of course I did. Too bad the shitty warden didn't care who started the fight. I got punished no matter what. That's awful. Glad he got what he deserved. The beatings weren't even the worst part. Most of my wounds went away after a night. Okay. Most of his wounds went away after a night. That might be his passive getting a bit better. The real nightmare was... Blake, what is it? You trailed off. It's nothing. I'm just really glad that I'm out of there. Where's Arlo, by the way? I didn't see anything about him being arrested, so I thought he'd be with you guys. And that he wasn't part of the prison break because he was too slow to keep up. Actually, we still aren't sure what happened to him, but apparently he was neither arrested nor charged with any crimes. In fact, he's still a registered officer at the Bureau. What the hell? Like, he never did anything wrong? Maybe he got a pass through his connections? Serafina and John are heading out soon. They'll see if Spectre gathered any more info on him. Right now, all we really can do is wait. Bureau of Authority. Arlo! Is this Ember Agent Ash? The chapter's definitely ending, right? Ah, there you are, Arlo. Please, have a seat. Val, Miss Farah, good afternoon. How are you feeling? Any dizziness or disorientation? No? Why? Well, you see, the Bureau has taken the liberty of erasing some parts of your memory. They're just flat out telling him? What is their plan? My memory? What do you mean? Unordinary episode 362. And the fact that they just came out and said it. Oh no. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100% real. I don't know how I feel about the fact that they just flat out came and say that. She didn't say that, Solo. She said that all she said was erasing her memories. False memories may not be part of her kit. I'd be very surprised if they are. We still have to wait. Like, it's not possible. Her thing is called hypnosis. So false memories wouldn't be too far out there as part of her kit. But yeah. Overall, fairly decent episode. Pretty nice little welcome wheel, welcome. Pretty nice little, conclusion to the prison break arc, I'm gonna call this. That's true. That's true, Solo. The weird thing is though, John, we've never really seen John with healing abilities too often in the story, especially not in combat. However, we saw him at Rowden with full maxed out healing Blake as well, and that didn't seem to drain him all that much. Like, let's see, can we go that far back? We can. Absolutely we can. So, like, here at Rowden Park, so yeah. Let's go back another chapter so we can get right to this moment. So Blake gets hit in the face. Blake gets pretty messed up. Like, Blake gets pretty hurt. And John seemingly fixes him completely. Zero strain on John from the healing. Or zero hint that he's worn out from healing Blake. And, like, let's see. Yeah, like, Blake is fully healed. There's not the slightest hint on John. Yes, Mohammed. We saw him use Helene's healing when Seraphina was kidnapped. However, like, that was also after the fight. That was also he got his full level back. Again, okay, yeah. Blake 100% absolutely healed. Even like the blood and everything on his arm is gone. Like, it's just the blood on his shirt that remains, but the wound itself is completely healed. And again, like, we could just say, and again, no real sign that John is like worn out from this or anything, you know? Let's see as the fight continues. Yes. That's fair. That is fair, Wheel. That is very fair. It was a much longer fight and everything. But you'll see why I say this. You'll see why I say this when we do the reread right now. So I would say here John used healing very effectively. And again, this is max healing. So yeah, this is John with max recovery. And yes, it's also a lot weaker abilities that he used for this. But still, it's weird. I think it's a little weird that like Uru would put in here now, seems like John can't heal quite effectively. It's like, no, he absolutely can. Like, John absolutely can heal very effectively. Like, you guys are bringing up very, like, I do want to stress, you guys are bringing up very good, very valid points. This was a much longer fight. He had much stronger abilities that he was using and everything. And obviously he was healing multiple people, including himself. It just feels a little weird now that, like, we're saying, like it makes sense. It makes, out of context, it makes sense to say John doesn't use his aura efficiently. However, prior events in the series and evidence shows that that's not really true. John's like actually very, very efficient when it comes to how he uses his aura. Okay, so let's do another reread. Let's do another reread, shall we? So, Cameron's house. Got his wine, browsing the internet. He's on a laptop sitting right in front of his computer. Bro, you're crazy. So, sips his wine. The Daily Inquiry. Wellston student escapes love in prison. Blake. John! And Maricel's just sleeping. John, where are you? Again, it's been... What's crazier... The crazier part is... John took some of Cameron's clothes. And like Cameron didn't notice that his house has been empty for a week. And he also doesn't notice that he's been missing some clothes for a week. He's not here. He's been gone since last week. And you didn't think to alert me? I did. Mr. Cameron, quiet. Can't you see I'm working? Sir, your nephew, I don't want to hear about that brat. I told you I need absolute silence. Off with you. ... But you waved me away every time. He's a rebellious teenager. Did you really expect him to listen to you? He did. Ugh. Put me in contact with Scarlet as soon as possible. Yes, sir. You demonic little runt. Always a pain in the ass. Dang. So, Blake remembering John beating him up, a deranged delinquent who beat you senseless multiple times. A coward, Ison crying about not wanting to fight Vulcan. A coward who runs away from every conflict. Remembering the first time he saw Remy's plans to investigating Ember and stuff. A selfish girl who coaxed you into doing everything she wanted. They're the reason you were in here to begin with. He rushes up. Sees the clock. It's 12:34. ... I'm still having those dreams. Breaking news. John asleep on the couch. Sarah painting her nails. Last night there was a breach at Love in Prison. Former Wellston student Blake, a substance dealer also known as the Vigilante Nobody. Authorities suspect that his escape was premeditated and aided by former class schoolmates John, Serafina, Remy, Ison, and Kuyo. The warden has yet to release an official statement. Damn, our name's sure getting out there, huh? At this rate, we'll be more infamous than Ember. They're using us to smear vigilantism, with Unordinary going viral again. They're more desperate than ever to stop a resurgence. Well, people aren't falling for it. I know for a fact that new vigilantes are still emerging by the day. Serafina, what's your plan now that Blake's out? We're going to leave today. Since the feds are after us, it's better if we aren't all in one place. Plus, we gotta report back to Spectre as soon as possible. But John's taking a bit longer than expected to recover his strength, so we might stay another night. Hey, you talking about me? Careful, you're gonna mess up my nails. Your nails look great. John, how are you feeling, John? I never felt so drained. I've always been a shitty healer. Again, there's not enough evidence to say that, but there's also not enough evidence to say that that's wrong. Like that. Again, Blake fully recovered. Not even okay, where is it? Where is it? Literally, Blake went from this state to this. Okay. Another example. Another example. Uru, I'm sorry. We're going to nitpick this. Uru. Where is it? Okay. Here. Okay. Here. Here might be a good. This might be a good thing. So it's hard to say because we don't get 100% confirmation if they're like back to normal here, like if they're fully recovered, because even Elaine is struggling to heal Arlo, and John is taking a little bit longer to heal himself. Okay, yeah, John's not fully recovered by this. He's fully recovered here. So he in undisclosed amount of time at undisclosed actual level, he did manage to make himself fully recovered. But not only that. But not only that. Not only that. God, Elaine, you are literally the worst. Okay, yeah, not only that. He was able to use Elaine's ability and find even the smallest injury. Okay, but that wasn't great healing. That was literally just one small heal after Elaine like did most of the work. And yeah, it absolutely can be, and most likely is John just being hard on himself. But there's one more thing. There's one more thing I want. Wheel. She's awful. You know she's awful. Okay. There's one more thing that we need to look at. This is hard to tell because we clearly cannot see John's face. But boom. Gets that. Boom. Tanner gives him the sample. Literally just his clothes are still dirty because obviously they would be. So boom. Done for. And then boom. Challenges Ison. Boom. Here. God, this fight was fucking clean. God, I loved this fight. So this fight was actually great. Okay, look at that. Coughing up blood. Bleeding here. Boom. And again, this was minimal injuries. Like Ison did some pretty decent damage, but this was not like crazy healing like what John just went through. It's like I'm saying, like he's destroying Ison. Fair, Miriam, fair. But like it's just okay. Wait, no, because there's still more from this part of the story. This, oh my god, Joker at his finest, bro. Okay, right here. Again, this is just against mid-tiers. They're not that threatening. And the most the most unfortunately named girl in the entire series. Guys, her name, Uru named her Wanky. Why is she named Wanky? Uru did her so dirty with this name, Wanky. Hi, Wanky. Absolutely demolished her. And again, these guys are not... These guys are not like... They're not doing crazy damage. They are not... Okay. They're not... Okay. This right here. This is laser. Like, Uru has literally used this as an example of like, yo, this guy's abilities kinda ass. Blake's ability is where it's at. Like, this was an example ability that Uru used to like show like different potential, like blah 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 blah, like abilities and everything. Again, this right here, this is not minimal damage. Anyone like, okay, there's a freaking hole in John's arm. Literally completely fine. Literally completely fine. Completely fine. And here's the thing. Here's why I'm gonna kind of disagree with you a little bit, Miriam, that regeneration is different from healing. Yeah, like, I guess, but like Tanner's regeneration, he was able to, like, within seconds, at his own level, at Tanner's own mid-tier level, within seconds, Tanner was able to heal his arm that John broke and dislocated. Like, again, these are minimal injuries. Like, this isn't too crazy. Like, this is obviously nothing compared to what John went through right now in the current story. I did not show you guys this at all, did I? Oh my god. My bad. Okay. So yeah. Laser. Boom. So laser, this ability sucks compared to Blake. This ability, it's kind of powerful. There's a hole in John's arm, but it's not that impressive. Heals it right away. Heals it right away. And again, like Remy said, like you said, Miriam, it could just be John being very hard on himself. So yeah, it's weird. Like, it's weird for Uru to like have John say, I've never been a very effective healer, when like history shows John is actually a pretty effective healer. But like, you know, we're getting more lore. Like, we're getting more lore that healing does take up a lot of aura. So because like, okay, Elaine, a dedicated healer, obviously healing takes time for her. The most impressive healing we've seen in the story doesn't come from a healer. It comes from a guy who's a great chemist who can make tonics that heals things. But Elaine is at this moment, Elaine is one of the strongest healers in the stories. We've seen healers stronger than her. And like, again, like, healing takes time. Like, during the Spectre raid, like, they got healing from Elaine's mom. But they still needed to go to the hospital. They still had to get treated there. So clearly, like, yes, there is evidence to support that healing does take up a lot of aura. There's evidence to support that. But there's not a lot of evidence to suggest John's not an effective healer. It's just a little bit weird for me. It's not anything bad. Again, like you're saying, Miriam, it could just be John being modest. I don't think self-deprecation is technically a form of modesty. I don't think it should be looked at like that. But like, yes, like you're absolutely right. It could just be John saying, or like being like modest, like saying that he's not that great. But evidence shows John is actually pretty great. So yeah, I've always been hog so much aura just to heal myself, let alone heal others. And again, well, Okay. No. No. I am going to call shenanigans on this part. I'm going to call shenanigans on this part because, again, Rowden Hill, John healed Blake from pretty severe injuries. Just fine. Clearly no sign of struggle for him. He went up against people who were definitely a lot weaker than him. But, like, it's weird. And again, like I just showed, him versus Ison, him versus Tanner and Roku. Roker? Him versus Tanner and Roker. Him versus Abel. Him taking out the mid-tiers. Like, I would say that there is evidence to suggest that this right here is like a retcon or like something else. Again, yes, they were up against something much stronger. I've said that myself. Up until this point, they've just been fighting high schoolers and relatively strong, shitty adults. But this feels weird. This feels weird to say. It's not terrible, but it does feel a little... Anyway, a bit hard on yourself, aren't you? We made it out, though. John may have an impressive aura pool, but sounds like he has trouble using it efficiently. Yeah, but if Sarah and Ison didn't show up when they did, we would have been done. It makes sense that he's frustrated. Blythe gets up, walks down the stairs, sees everyone chatting, sees John, clenches his fist. Why do I feel so distant? Blythe, you're awake. Don't just stand there. She grabs him, pulls him up. Come hang out with us. Blythe hasn't said anything about her new hairstyle either. Hey. Look who it is. Did you sleep well, princess? Blake, you had us pretty worried last night. Worried? Last night. Nice to see you up and moving. Yeah. Have you seen the news yet? No, I just woke up. We're famous, I tell ya. And John, like... ... John knows. Beatrice walks... Okay. Yeah, no. This sucks. Okay. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in a sec. Hey, kids, so Beatrice shows up. Who's ready for lunch? I have Yum Yum specialty burgers. Quinn says it's on the house. Food! Whoa. I'm starving. When do we dig in? So we got burgers, we got fries, we got drinks. When do we... Wait, first? Huh? We're outlaws at the moment. Sorry we couldn't throw you a bigger party. A big shout out to everyone. This wouldn't have been possible without every single one of you. And now, we're another step closer to reclaiming our freedom. Blake, welcome back. Cheers! So they eat up. I'll admit, that was a step closer from prison food. That was a step up from prison food. Yeah, no kidding. We gotta plump you up. You lost a lot of weight. Bet the other inmates didn't make it any easier. Nah, one wrong look and they'd come after you. But you kicked ass, right? Course I did! Too bad the shitty warden didn't care who started the fight. I got punished no matter what. That's awful. Glad he got what he deserved. The beatings weren't even the worst part. Most of my wounds went away after a night. The real nightmare was remembering Keon. Absolutely, Miriam. Blake, what is it? You trailed off. It's nothing. I'm just really glad I'm out of there. Where's Arlo, by the way? I didn't see anything about him being arrested, so I thought he'd be with you guys, and that he wasn't part of the prison break because he was too slow to keep up. Actually, we still aren't sure what happened to him, but apparently he was neither arrested nor charged with any crimes. In fact, he's still a registered officer at the Bureau. What the hell? Like he never did anything wrong? Maybe he got a pass through his connections? Seraphine and John are heading out soon. They'll see if Spectre gathered any more info on him. Right now, all we can really do is wait. Bureau of Authority! Ah, there you are. Arlo, please have a seat. Damn, Farah, you looking fine. So Valerie at her desk, Farah just like standing up. Val, Miss Farah, good afternoon. How are you feeling? Any dizziness or disorientation? No? Why? Well, you see, the Bureau has taken the liberty of erasing some parts of your memory. My memory? What do you mean? Unordinary episode 362. I'm really curious how Uru's gonna like work that part out, because that's very strange to just come out and tell Arlo. That is very, very peculiar to come out and tell Arlo. Because from what we can assume, Farah messed with a lot of Arlo's memories. A lot of his memories. Let's see. Okay, so, yeah. So, here, like, these memories go back a long way. His conversation with Blake. Everything with, like, the break-in at John's apartment. Ison in the infirmary. His conversation with Remy about Ray. Getting Sarah away from the mid-tiers. I don't know exactly when this is. This looks like season 1, though. Let's see. What is this? This is him versus John the first time. This is him and John another time. This is him, Sarah, and Layla against Spectre. This is John versus the Royals. This is Ray at graduation. This is another time. This is another time. Again, Ray, safe house stuff. Caden. Caden telling him about the Bureau and Ember. Rowden Hill. Staying at Rowden. Rowden Hill. Talking to John. Him, John, and Sarah like plotting for Spectre stuff. John and him talking. This might be the fight at. This might be the Wellston War, I think. Yeah. John and him going to check up on Ison. Again, them checking up on Ison. Sarah and Valerie's fight. Like, a lot of Arlo's memories have been tampered with, going back a long way before the story even began. So, yeah, it's wild to see, like, how much, the fact that they're just going out and telling them that they did this. I'm very curious to see how Uru is going to handle this, because I don't know. Maybe this shows that, like, Valerie has some kind of weird, like, love for Arlo, like some kind of, like, dark love. Because, like, yes, or, like, she protected her nephew. She, like, was able to, like, make it that he doesn't go to prison. But at the same time, like, she's altered his memory in, like, some way, and, like, has tampered with some of Arlo's, like, most treasured memories. His, like, Ray's graduation, their talk when Ray graduated. Like, yeah. Wheel. This is not an Elaine hate moment. I promise you. I know I am the #1 Elaine hater in the community, but I promise you, this is not an Elaine hate moment. 'Cause yes, Elaine could be part in getting Arlo's memory back. The problem with that, though, is there are so many more characters who would fit better to fill that role for Arlo. So many more characters who should be the one to help Arlo recover his memory. Who are those characters? Number one, first and foremost, out of everyone, Remy. Like, Remy should absolutely be the key to helping Arlo get his memory back. If not her, Cassandra or Kuyo. They're both connections that Arlo has to Ray as well. Like Cassandra and him were working together so hard to like get all this under control and like help figure out a way to shed light on the Ember issue within the Bureau. Cassandra and Arlo are both so very closely tied because of Ray. Like, she should fill that role. Kuyo, yes, like, Arlo obviously doesn't have the most fond memories of Kuyo. But, again, still another attachment to Ray. They still have their own history together as well. Serafina as well. As, like, you know, Holden, his actual... Wheel, they are not the only options. There are so many more better people who would fit the role to bring Arlo's memories back than Elaine. Again, Cass, Kuyo, Remy, freaking Holden, Arlo's actual friend, the only person in the series we ever see Arlo actually hang out with, even though we ourselves have not focused on Holden, even though we personally do not know shit about Holden. Like, again, this is the only character that we do know is Arlo's actual friend. Like, this is the only person we ever see Arlo spend time with outside of school. Like, spend time with, hang out with. We don't know anything about Kuyo, but we know that he is Arlo's, like, actual friend. He's the only friend of Arlo we've actually seen in the series. We should Elaine does not, like, the other reason why Elaine doesn't work as, like, getting Arlo's memory back, again, I've said it a million times, Arlo doesn't care about Elaine. Arlo has never been kind to Elaine. Arlo doesn't give a shit about Elaine. And, like, if she would do this so suddenly, if, like, she would, like, make her the key to, like, having Arlo get his memory back, that would be such wasted potential. Because, like, Elaine, and also, like, right now, Elaine doesn't care about Arlo. Like, literally, the last time, like, she's been pining over this guy for so long. And the last time, when he finally reaches out to her, and he finally says, hey, we need to talk, she says, hey, I'm busy right now. Hey, I'm hanging out with my friends. I ain't got time for you, bro. Like, Elaine doesn't care about Arlo. Like, she said, like, hey, if you need healing, like, you know, like, hit me up, but, like, I don't want no part of this. Like, that would be so ass backwards. There are plenty of other people who would be more than capable. There are many more people in the cast of Unordinary who would fit the role better of getting Arlo's memory back, helping Arlo get his memory back than Elaine. Like, do I think Elaine is done in the story? No, most likely not. Like, she might be. Like, she might be, like, done, and Uru might, like, just be like, well, they don't have a healer with them because the community hated the healer that I made. I don't think Elaine or Cecile are. And again, also, Cecile just barely nudges out Elaine in important characters to Arlo. They are not friends, but they are close. They were both king and queen of Wellston for a while at the very least. Like, Cecile, obviously, like Cecile did not like Arlo, but Cecile, like, I highly doubt, like, Cecile would, like, literally let anything bad happen to Arlo. Like, Cecile, like, and I'm not even saying that Cecile is a good fit. Like, she's not. But, like, when it comes to her and Elaine, she, like, barely nudges Elaine out. They can't yet. Wheel. There are a lot more people. And again, I don't like these guys either. Ventus and Melee. Like, these guys, like, these are Arlo's cronies. Like, these are Arlo's lackeys. These are Arlo's Julian and Martin. Like, these guys know what Arlo's like. These guys know what Arlo stands for. Like, these guys, like, Arlo told these guys, like, hey, join the safe house and, like, watch out for things. Like, you know, just make sure things are fine. And they were like, okay, yes, sir. Like, she should not be the person to help out Arlo. Should she appear? Should she be allowed to appear in the story right now? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But no, she should absolutely not be the first choice. All right. But yeah. I do think I do think I do think we're going to get a bit more like insight into like how Valerie thinks as a result of this, like in the next episode. Like, I think we're going to get like a bit of a glimpse in her so yeah, I think we're going to get like glimpses of like Valerie's like psyche and like how she views her relationship with Arlo. Because it's obvious, like in her own dark way, Valerie does love and care for Arlo. Like, this is her nephew that she has in some way or another taken care of since he was a baby. We obviously know that Arlo's parents are alive. We know that like his parents are most likely bureau agents or something like that. You know, they're probably very higher ups in society. We know that Arlo obviously has a relationship with his parents, but it's also very apparent from like brief interactions that we've seen, like memories from Arlo's side, that like Valerie has been someone very important to him since he's been a kid. So it's interesting to see. So I think we're going to get like a look into like how Valerie views their relationship and how Valerie views like her love, like what her love for Arlo is like and how far it goes. I don't think we're obviously not going to get all of it, but I think we're definitely going to get a glimpse of to like how the way she thinks in the next episode. So that will be it for Unordinary. For now, we're going to jump to Jungle Juice. For now, we're gonna jump over to Jungle Juice. Yeah, breeders, child breeder was a fucking psychopath, and yeah, Mom met the dean when he was a bit younger, and they were like, "Yo, let's go destroy that place." So here we go. Kaboom, sir! We must get out of here immediately, boss. What in the world is that thing? Is he even human? I can't think of something. The lab is gonna be destroyed at this rate. Are you listening to me? Boss, they're here. Ah! You insolent little... I'll show you my roach power. It's all over. Apprentice, you're the only one left. Damn! Quit aura farming, Ma! Aura farming when you're about to shoot a kid is absolutely wild. Jungle Juice. As of today, nobody will know the lab jungle ever existed anymore. Nobody will ever even think about using this as a weapon. I will get rid of all Data and associates and leave no traces whatsoever. But maybe this doesn't have to happen. I will give you one last chance. If you can give everything up, cry out to me like a young child should, you'll end up in an asylum at the worst case scenario. Show me your human side and you'll live. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of... Yes, I know I cannot stand, like, Breeder. Like, even as a child. I'm not gonna lie, though. That's still a crazy thing to say to a child. Well, while you're pointing a gun at him, too, make your choice. Will you survive as a human being? Or die as a monster? Professor Ma. Check this out. It's the girl. This girl. Perfect timing, I must say. Professor, I'm not far from providing the ultimate theory of evolution. I recently realized that there's a limit to how much feeding can do. While insect humans could become so much more powerful through feeding, it still wasn't enough for them to make that one final step. It was an accidental discovery, but I finally found the solution. By combining two different specimens, they can become one chimera creature. Although the specimens all died due to side effects in the early stages of the trial, they showed a lot of promise. When I combined a male and a female, a perfect fusion both physically and spiritually, that was the key to evolution. Like in the story of the Greek god Hermaphrodite, by becoming one, they become whole. So I deliberately starved Sejong for a few days. We didn't have many specimens who endured the feeding. What method should I use? Organ transplant? Surgical attachment? The possibility is limitless. Isn't this exciting, Professor? Ultimate evolution is literally right there. You have taught me this one thing. Humans don't change. That's how the lab jungle and apprentice completely disappeared from this world. But it was impossible to recall all jungle juice products that had already been distributed by consumers. A batch of jungle juice had already been sold in the province of Gangwon. Counter-Disaster Committee formed a new organization. With our current dean as its leader in order to find a solution. The organization rescued and protected people who had become insect humans. Bro, look at young Professor, what a fucking G. While recruiting the most talented individuals among them to found Nest. That's how Nest came to be. At the time, I was locked up and waiting for a decision to be made regarding my involvement. You want me to work as one of the professors at Nest? An agent found this during the raid. Another branch of the Jungle Juice lab. It contains data about Cinderella, the cure for jungle juice. Why don't you try making a substance that can turn insect humans back to normal? Just like how you attempted to save that apprentice. Everyone deserves a second chance. If you truly want to atone for your sins, maybe you can research how to save people. That is the truth regarding jungle juice, Nest, and me, Do-yeon Ma. I mean, like, there's no question who's right in this. There's absolutely no question who's in the right in this. If Judair and if Yoon is going for like some kind of moral quandary, that really doesn't work when like you deliberately show that another character is an irredeemable psychopath and always has been. A brief moment of silence ensued. It seemed we all needed time to process this this shocking revelation. Hold on! You said you killed Breeder in the past! Then how is he still alive? I'm not sure. I didn't cut off his head. That's what baffles me, too. What I suspect is this. That maybe something at the lab turned Apprentice into an insect human and brought him back to life. Breeder told me that he couldn't remember anything from his human days when he first woke up. All he had left in him were knowledge about jungle juice and the obsession with evolution. If Breeder is indeed my apprentice from the past, everything makes sense. He was trying to distribute jungle juice everywhere, not because he wanted to change the world, but to have more test subjects to work with. He created a group of monsters called predators through feeding. I don't think a lot of them are left, actually. He has all... Oh, wait, is this guy dead? I forget. He has also been showing obsession over Su-Chen. Maybe that was all to find special specimens so that he can create an ultimate chimera by combining a perfect male and a female. Somewhere in the Baltic. Oh, Huiji's eating. Oh, you're alive. Leader. Nah, Huiji's leader now. You had a simple task. To kill as many nest bastards as you could. But I was never more disappointed in my life. I brought all of you here, but not to save you. I hate wasting meat. Ah! No! Ah! I incurred a huge loss this time, but it matters not. I finally have one exquisite specimen required for the ultimate evolution. The question is, how am I going to procure the other? I don't know, man. I don't care. You're fucking crazy. Fun fact with an entomologist. Breeder, honey, chimeras already exist. 1 in every 250,000 insects is one. Even rarer are same-sex Smex chimeras, and would be way cooler to make, just saying. But it's not evolutionary because it's not heritable. Want evolutionary? Check out the shrimps is Bug's poster child. The extinct Coxolectoptera, which literally means chimera wing. Their larvae are basically shrimps. The adults have four legs for a mantid body, body of a dragonfly and wings of a mayfly. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, Jungle Juice is kind of making me go, But okay, no more having to try attempts at sympathy baiting for young psychopath who got shot. Whatever, man. This kid is actually fucking off his rocker. But yeah. Oh, question of the day. Do you have sympathy for child breeder, or for breeder as a kid, as a child? Question of the day for Unordinary. Are Valerie and Farah going to tell Arlo the whole truth, or are they going to withhold some information? I think they might withhold a little bit of information, but seeing as how they did just come flat out and say, like, yo, we... like, yo, or like this at this point they might be like, yo, this is like what's happening. Is Ember Agent Ash appearing this soon? No, right? Like they're not going to recruit him like right off the bat, are they? Are they? But yeah. Okay. Twill be it for now. Yeah. Let me know what you guys thought about the episodes down below in the comments. Overall, I was satisfied with Unordinary. I like I said, I'm very curious to see like what we're gonna see from Valerie next week. That's gonna be very, very interesting to read on. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, guys. And as always, everyone, see you, Space Cowboy.